Ever feel like you're just drowning in this pressure, the constant need to hustle, be productive every single second, or else you're falling behind?
Oh, absolutely. It's like this nonstop treadmill.
Exactly. Well, what if there's this totally different way? Turns out there's a guy, Warren Buffett, who built an absolute empire by, well, basically doing the opposite. We're going to dive into his world and this idea of slow thinking.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Forget the more faster now mantra.
Mm.
We're looking at a mindset that prizes, patience, rationality, and looking way down the road.
It's like a master class in being deliberate,
Right.
right? Such a contrast to all that frantic energy you see in, well, hustle culture.
And the insights here, they're pulled straight from Buffett himself, his letters, interviews, how he actually runs things.
And it's not like some historical curiosity either. I mean, he's in his 90s, and while he's still sticking to his routines, he has that great line about tap dancing to work.
Right. Maybe the tempo's slowed a bit, you could say, but the core principles, they seem rock solid.
So let's get into it. What's really at the heart of this slow thinking thing?
Well, it really starts with patience, doesn't it? His whole investment philosophy. It's less like a sprint and more like carefully tending a bonsai tree. Measured, consistent, takes time.
Huh, bonsai cultivation, I like that.
Yeah. And he famously said, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. It's pure buy and hold in a world screaming for quick flips.
Think about the discipline that takes, just sitting tight when everyone else is running around like headless chickens.
And it's not just sitting still randomly, it's knowing where to sit still. He talks about finding companies with a really strong economic moat, right?
Yeah.
Something that guards their profits.
Like Coca-Cola. Berkshire bought that way back, when was it, 1988?
Yep, 88. And they still hold a massive chunk. That incredible brand loyalty, the way people just reach for it, that's a serious moat.
Or even Apple. He stayed away from tech for ages, but then he saw the stickiness of their brand, that whole ecosystem.
Exactly. He recognized the consumer power there. And what's really telling is, studies have shown, if you just copied his public moves over the years, you probably would have beaten the market.
Wow, just by being patient.
It underscores the power of it. And look at Berkshire Hathaway itself. The whole company runs on trust in managers, a super long-term view, and just ignoring all the noise about quarterly earnings.
He had that funny quote about it.
Oh, yeah. Lethargy bordering on sloth remains the cornerstone of our investment style. Classic Buffett humor, but it nails a key point. He avoids the frantic activity.
Okay, so patience is like the foundation. But what kind of thinking builds on that? It's got to be more than just waiting around.
Oh, for sure. It's not about having some genius-level IQ. He's actually said, investing is not a game where the guy with the 160 IQ beats the guy with the 130 IQ. Rationality is essential.
So it's about emotional control, staying level-headed.
Precisely. Emotional discipline and, crucially, knowing what you know and what you don't know. His famous circle of competence.
Right, sticking to your knitting.
Yeah. He said the most important thing is figuring out how big the moat is. But you have to know your own moat first. You need self-awareness.
Which is why he avoided things he didn't really grasp, like, the dot-com bubble back then or cryptocurrency more recently, and no FOMO.
Zero FOMO. And this focus, this ability to delay gratification, it wasn't a late life thing. Apparently, even as a kid, he was obsessed with compounding interest, kept track in this little book.
Warren's Book of Records, yeah. Already thinking long-term.
And that idea, it goes beyond money, right? It's about knowledge compounding, relationships compounding. It connects to his concept of the inner scorecard.
Ah, right. Judging yourself by your own standards, not by what everyone else thinks.
Exactly. Which is such a contrast to hustle culture, which is all about external validation, metrics, likes.
Yeah, totally.
He asked, the big question is whether they've got an inner scorecard or an outer scorecard. It helps if you can be satisfied with an inner scorecard. And his lifestyle reflects that pretty simple routines, minimizing decisions to save mental energy.
And reading. Reading like 500 pages a day, wasn't it?
Incredible, yeah. He said that's how knowledge works. It builds up like compound interest. Think about that versus the whole move fast and break things ethos.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
And all that quiet thinking, that reading, it fuels his ability to act when others panic, right? The whole be fearful when others are greedy.
And greedy when others are fearful, yeah.
Yep.
That comes from stability, not just number crunching. He believes the key to success is emotional stability. You need a stable personality.
But it wasn't just him alone in a room thinking, was it? He really valued the people around him.
Absolutely. His relationships were crucial. Let's talk about those for a second.
Definitely. He wasn't about having a huge network. He was about deep connections. Charlie Munger, obviously.
The legendary partnership. Buffett calls Munger the architect of Berkshire's modern approach. And Munger said Warren is learning machine number one.
Such mutual respect. You can tell it was a genuine intellectual partnership.
And Munger really pushed him,
Yeah.
pushed him beyond just buying statistically cheap stocks towards buying wonderful businesses, even if they cost a bit more. That shift was huge,
Decades of collaboration. Then there's Bill Gates.
right? A friendship that led to incredible philanthropy. Buffett giving most of his fortune away, largely through the Gates Foundation, starting the Giving Pledge. He's clear. I don't believe in dynastic wealth.
And then some perhaps more unexpected friendships, like with Jay-Z or LeBron James.
Yeah. It shows his curiosity, doesn't it? He admires their business sense, their drive. He said about Jay-Z, Jay is teaching a lot of people you don't have to be born into wealth to build it. He's always learning.
Which really tees up this core contrast, doesn't it? Buffett's whole way of being versus this relentless hustle culture we live in now.
It's night and day, really. Hustle culture is all about appearing busy, right? Constant activity.
Whereas Buffett is purely focused on outcomes, substance over style. You know that quote, you only find out who's swimming naked when the tide goes out.
Perfect. It's about real results, not just frantic motion. And he agrees with Munger that busy is the new stupid. He carves out huge chunks of his day just to sit and think.
Imagine that. Uninterrupted thinking time.
In today's world, it's radical.
Yeah.
He avoids distractions like social media. He just says, I do best when I just sit and think. It's almost a quiet act of defiance.
And there's a deeper critique there too, isn't there? Hustle culture often makes work your entire identity. For Buffett, it seems more like an expression, but not the whole story.
Mm-hmm. And he warned about habits, saying, chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. That constant on mode can become a trap.
Yet, despite all the success, he has this very deliberately cultivated image, right? The folksy oracle from Omaha.
Yeah, the Cherry Coke, the Dairy Queen trips. It feels authentic, though. He's lived in the same house for decades. It's not just an act.
No, it seems genuine. And that folksy wisdom often cuts deep. Like, you don't have to swing at every pitch, wait for the fat one.
That's not just investing. That's life advice, isn't it? Be selective. Focus your energy.
And the margin of safety idea, leaving room for error. He said, you only need to do a very few things right, so long as you don't do too many things wrong. It's about avoiding big mistakes.
Such practical wisdom. So looking at the big picture, what's the legacy here beyond just the billions?
Well, the philanthropy is huge, obviously. The Giving Pledge, his view of wealth as stewardship. He said, society gave me the chance to succeed. I owe society a lot.
And his ideas on inheritance, giving his kids enough to do anything but not enough to do nothing, that speaks volumes.
But beyond money, it's the life lessons, right? Finding work you love, building character, choosing the right partner, keep learning, stay out of debt, be trustworthy. Simple stuff, but profound.
Absolutely. So in this world obsessed with speed, Buffett's story is this powerful reminder about, well, the marathon. Patience, principle, perspective.
Yeah, his legacy isn't just market-beating returns. It's a whole way of thinking, a way of living that feels more relevant than ever.
Exactly. And maybe the thought to leave you with is that quote, you don't need to do everything. You just need to do a few things extraordinarily well for a very long time.
Makes you think, doesn't it? What are your few things? And maybe, just maybe, could slowing down a bit actually help you get there? Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.